Sayaka, the neighbor's having a tree cut down, a big gigantic tree. And I gotta tell you, I've been trying to tell you about this instinctive response that people have to me, okay? Way back when we were living in Kensington, a few miles from here, we needed a tree taken down in the property we were then living on, which was owned by my mother. Okay, so anything I did there, I had to get permission from her, right? And also, since she was the owner, she was responsible for paying for having that tree taken down, right? We had a gigantic tree like they're taking down next door. So one day this man knocked at the front door and I answered it and he said, we take down trees. He had an accent, like a hillbilly accent. We're talking like in that movie Deliverance. And I said, well, we need a tree taken down. I came to the door, right? He was just going door to door in our neighborhood, I guess. So we went back there. He looked at the tree and he said he'd take it down for like $800. So I'm thinking, wow, great price, right? Oh my God, that turned into a nightmare. A nightmare. Those guys working on that tree back there in Kensington, they worked all day into the night, and they were still taking that tree down. It was dark, and their chainsaws were making a lot of noise. So I went out and told them, look, you better stop, you're going to disturb the neighbors. They wouldn't stop. So the police came to stop them. They wouldn't listen to me, okay? And they were saying to me that they had like 3 or 4 Hispanic day laborers, probably all illegal aliens, that they were paying to do the grunt work, when they took down the portions of the tree and I guess load stuff onto a truck they had there. And they coming up to me in around like 9 o'clock at night saying, these guys are hungry, we need more money. Now, I didn't have the money. My mother had the money, right? But I have no money, as I told you before, my wife and I, we've lived on a shoestring, but we've scrimped and saved and paid our bills. So he's crying, he wants money. Well, I didn't have the money. He said, well, I got to get the money, from my mother who owns this house, And this guy's, he's like threatening in his behavior. Hold on, let me come back to this. So this man is saying these guys are hungry. We need more money. Well, I don't know. We need cash. He's saying. And he's very threatening, And these guys got these chainsaws, which they're menacing in their handling of these chainsaws. While this guy is telling me he's got to have more money and he wants cash. It's like 10 o'clock at night. They should have stopped working, and it's dark, and you know what I mean. There's still going on with in the neighborhood, right, where there's little kids and everything living. And I told them to stop. They wouldn't stop. So the police come and tell them they got to stop, and they stop. Well, it takes them like another day to take the tree down and get it out of there, and they've asked for more money and everything, and I'm not going to argue. I got them more money. Well, like my wife was taking food out to these day laborers and everything. It was a nightmare because they were acting in a very threatening way toward me, okay? Now, this is an example of how I'm interpreted in the world, right? So we noticed that a tree was dead, almost on the border between our yard and the neighbor's yard, this direction. to the west of our house, okay? So, did I go over there and talk to? No. I sent my wife over there to tell them, hey, you got a tree, it's dead, and if a storm knocks it down, it looks like it's going to fall on our house. So could you see about doing something about that tree? So, like, when my wife goes over there to talk to them, they immediately get on that, and they're like telling her in text messages, we're going to do this on such and such a day and so on. So today they came and they took this gigantic tree down in about 2 hours. The whole job is practically done in 2 hours in a real safe manner. My wife filmed a lot of it. And that's what happens when somebody who's not interpreted the way I am handles one of these situations. So some people say, well, you just got a bad deal there with that man who came to your door. But I got to say, man, this is my experience. So come to your place of work and ask for you? No, I will not do that. I'm not going to do that. I was thinking, I got to do it. Well, I'm not going to do that. I did that in 1988. I went to that station in Baltimore and I was accused of a crime. I will not do that again, okay? And I'm just trying to say that no matter what I seem like in these videos, this is not the way I'm perceived in person-to-person, real-life situations. It is not. So for that reason, because of the way I'm perceived, no girlfriend, no job, no one would hire me, ever. Okay? Ever. Except the one time I did get hired at Arena Stage, and the pay was so lousy, I couldn't even pay for me and my wife our expenses when we were living in a cheap as hell apartment. We had virtually no expenses. We were like, neither of us drink. We don't go anywhere. No movies, no plays, no cultural events, no nothing. Okay, fancy clothes? No fancy clothes. We didn't even have a car at the time. Okay, and the money I made from this Arena Stage job was not enough to pay even our rent and our food. So I still had to get money from my mother for us to get by. So, when I did get finally hired, I got hired by the help of a handicapped job agency, which got me the job that I worked to get the retirement I'm in. And what I have said, how I had to handle things at that job, right? I had to sit at my desk and not move. Talk to no one about anything. Keep to myself. Absolutely obey the rules. And I came in an hour early every single day and started work an hour early. And like I say, when that second hand crept up to noon when it's time to have lunch, that's when I moved from that desk or started eating my lunch, because I ate my lunch at my desk. I brought my lunch every single day, I think. In all the time that I worked there, only 3 times did I buy lunch because something had happened that I was, had to rush to work that day and no time to get my lunch. So the proof that I sat rooted at that desk is a pinched nerve on either side of the base of my spine from sitting in one position and not moving for all those years. There's the proof of it. So this is also why you and I are probably not getting together, because let's think of this as like a nuclear chain reaction, right? Going from me and my personal interactions with everybody around me and your personal interactions with everybody around you, and the whole thing, you'll go into the chain reaction
between me and you across the world, okay? Well, in that chain reaction, there's nothing motivating you to get to me. And like I said, I have tried with all my might to get to you, okay? I've told you, I don't want to seem like I'm scolding you. I've told you I have tried with all my might to get to you. Okay, I've gone to your country 3 times. I've even brought my wife. Okay, and I've done everything I can possibly do. I've sent letters to your place of work, no answer. Okay, typed letters, right? Addressed and respectful. No answer at all. Is that the way your company deals with people who ask respectfully? Like I read online, what do you say in these letters? And I said what they told me to say. No answer. So there you have it. So I'm going to go look for you more. I cannot look for you more. So if you're still interested, because I keep saying to myself, when I see you, I say, how could somebody this, if you'll permit me to say, this gorgeous, this accomplished, this intelligent, possibly like me now? I mean, when I was younger, a lot of people thought I was a handsome man, right? But I'm an old man now, and for God's sake, you'll like me? Well, okay, but are you sure you didn't get hit in the head or something? Because I say to myself, my God, well, so look, when you do meet me, be prepared, okay? Be prepared. You're going to have the same instinctive response everybody does. Now, this note's going on and on, but, okay, too bad, all right? My wife is the only person in the world, and the concentration camp survivor, and the woman in the halfway mental prison house. Three women have accepted me. And the Nazi concentration camp survivor is 27 years older. And I was working at her elbow for 2 years, okay? Like about a foot from her. So, just me and her, she had plenty of time to get to know me, right? And, well, by the end of it, she said, I can't believe that the women have just let you go by. I can't believe this. I'm not bragging because, I'm in solitary confinement. I'm in solitary confinement. I've been in it for over 40 years. So, yeah, when you come along and say, my God, this can't be real. So, after the Nazi concentration camp survivor and I have this relationship, about a decade later, after I'm accused of harassing a woman, I tried to go up and introduce myself to and everything, at her place of work and everything. No. Everything misinterpreted. I was provoked into I was provoked, but still, I didn't do anything that could have brought on the consequences that were brought on me. I had my parents going up there, telling the people I was crazy. They were very sorry. Oh, my God. So, I have the illegal relationship with the woman in the halfway mental prison house, and I think now she may have been, I know how paranoid and weird this sounds, she might have been an undercover agent, one of these secret policing agencies there to make me fail because I was doing great there. So she goes in there, she has this relationship, and suddenly she just, out of the blue, she betrays me. Why? I'm supposed to be crazy, so I'm going to go crazy myself. I'm going to flip out. Well, I'm not crazy, and I didn't flip out. Okay? And then I left there. And so, how many years after that? I left there in 91. I met my wife in 93. 2 years later, I meet the woman I'm going to marry. But some people would say, yeah, the woman you're going to marry is deaf and can't talk. She's virtually uneducated. She's from a foreign land. And she's going to be sent back to her country if she doesn't find a way to stay here through somebody like you. Well, in spite of all of that, our marriage has lasted now. I've seen lots of examples where people do get married, like to get a green card, whatever. These marriages don't last. Also, deaf hearing marriages are very tough. And I don't see any successful ones over like five years or more. They're not successful. It's like most marriages among hearing people aren't, right? Well, a deaf hearing couple is a very tough couple to have because deaf people do not like that kind of thing. They don't like deaf people marrying a hearing person. So you have that to deal with too. But there's all kinds of complexities to my wife's deafness, okay? I'm not going to go into that. However, I'm going to say that, yeah, my wife had to go back to her country, but my wife is the kind of person who is not going to marry somebody she didn't love. Okay, like me, okay? I want to leave the United States, but my interest in you did not come from that desire to leave the United States. I've wanted to leave the United States since 1982. And when I was back in college visiting Europe and staying with probably who was my biological father's brother in Rome, I wanted to stay in Italy, stay in Europe at that time, and stay there. Wasn't able to, okay? And then later, after I go through this attempted murder of me, okay? Yeah, from that point on, I want to leave the United States. That was back in 1982. So when you come along, I'm thinking, oh, I can leave through you. No. I think I might have told you in messages at that time, I thought I was going to get Italian citizenship as a sure thing, okay? I fully qualified for Italian citizenship, 100%. Or I wouldn't have applied, you know? I'm not the kind of person that takes big risks in areas like that. I just don't, because of the money and the time. I wouldn't have wasted my family's money on a harebrained scheme to become an Italian citizen. To me, it was a sure thing. So I went after it, you know, and my wife and I gathered the documents and everything. We had people who were authorities saying, you got it. And we didn't get it. Okay, so my wife did accept me, so I'm now an old man, and you come along, and I say, my God, I cannot believe it. I'm grateful, and I'm head over heels, right? So I'm just alerting you that in person, I come across differently than I might in these videos. And I don't know how I come across in the videos because I look at my phone and it says there's no more than 1 or 2 views. And most of these videos have 0 views. So are you even seeing them? And I'm going to go to your place of work when maybe you've never even seen a single video and have no idea who I am, and say, I'm so-and-so, and I'd like to talk to this person. I think she's seen I'm on my way to be put in the mental prison again. Oh, you want that, huh? Wait a minute, sir, wait here. Just 1 second, and listen. Okay, if this is real, you got to come to me. I cannot come to you, okay? Well, that's all. So far I've been in this very gratefully and very hopefully, and all the positive things you might say about something like this when I'm calling you my zivug. You can look that up. It's a Jewish word. You're my zivug, I'm saying about you. So the amount of time I've spent on this is more time than the United States in its war with Japan. And I don't have a single shred of proof that any of this is real. So, that's all from me for now. I hope it is real. And I'm continuing to believe it is until it's impossible to go on believing that it is. Bye for now.